Hello there YouTube, this is Sibbles and Bits back at it again with another Inkbound daily. Today is the daily for September 4th, and I forgot to take a look at who we are and where we're going, but we're going to go up against Cinder. We start with 2 random bindings. It looks like they have given us Shield Wall and Restoration, which is absolutely suffer. We hate it. -1 Will Reserve, and then the last 2 waves of all combat spawn at once. So we are going to get more Ascensions, which is notable, but depending on who we are, we're Weaver with Emblem of Enterprise. Should give us some more spending money, allow us to spend glyphs. It's nice, but these really don't help us much at all. With the last 2 waves spawning at once, that could theoretically be a bit difficult for us as Weaver. Since they fixed the AoE on Stitch, we might be able to utilize that. Otherwise, Coin of Shadows, interesting. I kind of like the idea of possibly just getting a lot of money here so that we can spend a lot of money. Might be Mumsies at the end of this. Every time that they give me like tons of money, that's what comes to mind. Otherwise, Outlawed Works, Spear of the Gods, both good for each their own reasons. Outlawed Works, of course, affecting your Stitch and Thread. And Spear of the Gods, of course, affecting Constrict, which is, generally speaking, I have that as my single target skill for Weaver. Almost every build that I run with Weaver just ends up being Constrict repeatedly on a single target, but we don't have access to Shock, we don't have access to any good other AoE. They're basically forcing us to be a Weaver in this run. So we are likely going to have to actually interact with our other skills. So Outlawed Works is good there. Losing movement, though, on Weaver, I'm not sure how I feel about it. What is our first area? It's Proving Grounds. It might honestly just be Coin of Shadows so that we can buy a build. Spear of Gods is tempting, though. I'm just trying to figure out, like, how exactly are we going to win Fight 1? Because that's always our difficulty, right? Thickened Threads isn't bad. Thickened Threads with, what is it? The Shadow Book brings us to 60 damage per thread. It's kind of notable. We have 1 less will. I honestly think we're going to re-roll here. Actually, that's worse because we have more abilities. We can't guarantee that we're going to get wider AoE if we do that. So maybe we just settle with Potent Stitch. Outlawed Works. Try and go wide here. I don't know. Without increased AoE, chances of us actually hitting multiple things here is very unlikely because the training dummies don't like to clump up like most other enemies after the AI change. It's possible that we don't even go Quillings here, but I still would like to have that what am I trying to say? I would like to have that cushion. We could hit these guys, then these guys. Have everybody threaded. Okay. This is technically free. Actually, you're going to get hit. You're going to attack us. We're going to have to use this orb. Because we're going to be stuck on this guy here. Unless, of course, we spiked this, but I don't think that that's the right move. I think that what we want to do is something like this. And we're full blocked. Seems good. Getting shield on hit on constrict would be good if we're going wide, because it's not really going to help us as far as single target damage anymore. So getting some use out of it would be much appreciated. And so now we got to figure out how to kill all these enemies. We could take the orb and stitch there. So maybe it's this orb, stitch, constrict. Yep. Weave. Well, we got past fight 1. We did it. Again, I don't think that we're going to be spiking with physical power here. Magic power seems like it's going to be more useful to us. They really are kind of making us want to do a spike build, aren't they? Shield wall. They've tried to give us spike damage. Anyways. Seamless Stitch getting a cooldown early seems really good. I also like further wider if we're going to have less will. And less movement. I think getting access to Stitch every turn, though, is just pretty good for us. Loom. Okay. Weave is technically more damage. Loom would allow us to thread everything immediately. We get controlled weaving easier. We didn't take further wider, though, so it might honestly be weave. Weave is also better versus Cinder. Because if we have Loom, it's going to be very difficult for us to actually burst down the Cinder Cultist. That's something that we're going to have to look forward to. So I guess we can't neglect damage on Constrict, because it's probably going to be our single target. Yeah, we're going to go with Weave here. With Enterprise, do we feel good going into a Binding Empowerment? Because again, getting access to Constrict Shield on hit would be amazing. Getting access to Prepared Constrict. I believe there's a blue we want on Shield Wall. Having it prepared wouldn't be bad. Or would we rather get stats? That's interesting. I think we're going to go with the Binding Empowerment. Simply because there's a lot that we could earn from it. Elemental Threads enables a lot of vestiges. There's a lot of vestiges that are okay. Things that have Frostbite do this. Things that have Burn do this. We could get stuff like Burning Heart, Frozen Statue to put daze on them, and then possibly get a damage multiplier off of daze. We could have, okay, we hit something with Frostbite, so give it Burn. We have something with Burn, so hit it, give it Frostbite. Being able to scale Frostbite because we're going into magic power is a great way to make Constrict still deal some decent damage, despite the fact that we're going wide and spreading its damage across everything. And being able to just thread something and immediately go into stitch damage on it is very nice, especially if we end up getting, I believe it's called Tangle, which then threads everything around it immediately. It's a good way to vacuum seal everything for Weave, and it's a great way to get a ton of things threaded for exactly one cost. Now, I think we're going to go Elemental Threads. Simply because I think we want a purple in Stitch if it's going to be our primary, like, crowd control damage dealer. Get more shielding. I think I can deal with that. I don't think that meant, like, we don't want mending to be a thing, so I don't feel good taking that. We could probably re-roll this since we are hopefully... No, we are definitely going to get an extra glyph. I think we're going to re-roll this. There it is. Having a free restoration isn't bad either. It allows us a little bit of wiggle room in how we're dealing with stuff. If this is a damage potion, that'd be nice. Thank you. One, two, three. We have controlled weaving. Then we crit constriction? Maybe? It doesn't really do a lot to you. I actually think we wanted to use that later, because we're going to lose damage on Stitch now, because there's going to be less people. Be nice if there was a magic pixel like right there. There's our controlled weaving, so let's actually just, we're looking good for a constrict. Actually, that's not bad either. Keep our constrict for next turn, keep this orb for next turn. So then I want you guys to gather around over here. That's like perfect. There's our controlled weaving. That doesn't hit you. You should still be fine. Let's get rid of the most dangerous enemies first, which is like all of you guys. Pick up an orb. Constrict. You're dead due to burn. Can we do something about you? It's probably constrict. There we go. Cloak of the Conspirator. Interesting. I also kind of like Valmark because it does give us a little bit of physical damage for our constrict. But again, it's going to be very hard for us to do damage with that spread out. It is a single target idea for the end of the game when there's less enemies though. Especially again, going back to the Cinder Cultist. If we can't take out the Cinder Cultist quick, then it's going to cost us a lot of time. Valmark could be how we do that. I actually haven't tested. Does Cloak of the Conspirator work on turn 1? Because if it works on turn 1, because we didn't take damage on the previous turn, then that could also be a good setup for the Cinder Cultist. We go ahead, we weave, we constrict, and that could do a considerable amount of damage. Also considerable Sea Trickle. Especially, again, I forgot to look at the second book. If we're going into... What is it? Book 2 is a good Swarmer book in Derelict Starship and Gardens? Promenade, I believe. Promenade has a lot of enemies usually. I'm going to take this mostly for the science. We probably could have re-rolled that too. We do use a stack of Frostbite. I don't think that that's very notable though. You could try scaling into crit here. Actually, what is this Og? We could try scaling into crit. Elemental Threads isn't exclusive? That's interesting. Anyways, I'll go ahead and I'll take a critical constrict here. Take some crit chance. Because if we can get crits every turn because we managed to not take damage, seems pretty good to me. Okay. Splice seems interesting. It's single target nuke, which we said was an issue, but now we have no AoE. Oh, I think Tangle might be the play here. It does an insane amount of damage and threads things for us. I really like Study of Windsong. We did spend money. The question is this going to give us like 150 worth when we're already technically behind? Coin of Shadow, we don't actually have enough battles for that to... Like, it could make itself back. I just don't think that it will. This is interesting. We're going to go ahead and leave this. If we do make considerable money out of Enterprise, then it's probably going to be re-rolling the final vault. Now we got to figure out how we're going to deal with this. Your cooldown is 1, so it's actually better for us to do this. I guess we can use both. There we go. We wanted the crit. And so now we can pretty much just bop you. Prefer to do so using as little as possible. Doesn't look like that's going to happen. I guess this gives us controlled weaving, which gives us more damage. Does this increase your damage? It does. Okay. We're fine taking some damage here. I would just kind of like to get you a little bit closer. Yep, let's just take the hit. I guess there's a well afterwards. We didn't have to necessarily take that hit. We didn't get an extra turn anyways. It's fine. Restore 10 HP? That seems pretty good. Seems more usable for us. If we end up getting Sturdy Restoration 2, then that'll just go ahead and heal us even more. This giving us +5 shield is good. I think we need Constrained Constriction, because again, we need a single target solution, and this is going to try to be that. Not every fight is going to need it, but the Cinder fight is going to need it. I'm actually not against just grabbing more magic power here. Second book is Garden's Edge. This one's very manageable for us. There we go. We are going to take quite a bit of damage here. I think we're fine though. Maybe? I like this positioning better. I don't know if we're actually going to beat this guy. Maybe the correct move was to stitch him last turn. Yeah. Stitching him last turn would have made that difference. Well, that's one turn on us. Yep. It's unfortunate. On being hit, this vestige gains max HP. That one's interesting. I honestly think that we can get behind that. I feel like draining threads is probably okay. Gain resistant. Gain 10 shield for each will consumed. That seems terrible. I would really like to re-roll this. We do have the money pot coming up. We get a glyph from the Guardian. We could re-roll this. There we go. We could add just extra damage. Huh. Honestly not sure how to feel about any of this. Kind of like it better than rope burn. 10 stacks of burn isn't bad though. Like right now that is 100, 200 damage at the end of turn. We would need to be able to tank it. We get constrict, shield per enemy hit. I'll take the single target option. We can't afford... Well, we can go to a Binding Empowerment and grab a green only. I think I like that versus these other options. None of this is what I was wanting. I think I still want spun threads here. I guess we will reduce the cooldown of shield wall, quicken restoration. I don't know. This is a mess. I almost think that we're going to need blue spine cod here, because we do not have a build, especially against these guys. Still trying to debate how I'm going to handle this. I think we're going to do one of these. If everybody would like to gather around this gentleman, if we would have had increased AoE, we would have been able to thread a ton of guys. Still can thread a ton of guys at least, but let's go ahead and at least get access to that shielding. Power orb. Probably hit you guys again. Yeah, sounds right. You're done due to the burn, so let's go ahead, thread everybody, or do we just take care of the healer? This is so odd. I'm not used to playing Wide Weaver. On critting smite. Hold up. Their study of Windsong, like they gave us all the options that we want. Honestly, give me a little bit more crit chance. Damage for each thread attached to you isn't going to help us during the what's it fight. So, I mean, what else are we putting on here? We might as well block it out. That way we can get spun threads on weave. We need to visit an extra carver. Twins Bang solves a lot of problems for us. Let's see, we're going to fight the boss. The boss itself is going to give us like 40. We'd put ourselves in the RNG zone. that we would need Enterprise to kick a couple of times, but this is just so good for us. I think we're willing to buy that. Oh wait, no. If the boss gives us at least 40, we're good. I don't know where my math was. Well, that's a bit unfortunate. And I'm okay with taking this damage here. Trying to think which is more bang for our buck here. I think it's constrict. Alright. We're going to leave that there for next turn. We can go ahead and heal ourselves since we have the spare time. And Cloak of the Conspirator pops off. We're able to constrict. That was perfect. Constrict again. No crits. There's a mark at least. And we might as well... No, we don't have to mitigate any of this damage because we have a well. So, because we're just going to bop you with this then. Probably should have mitigated the damage simply because we had a mark already on him. Alright. That went pretty well. We might as well take Palisade. Whenever you lose HP, reduce the cooldown of shield. Restoration can give resistance. They really wanted us to do a Thorns Weaver without Quillian. Anyways, we're going to take Spun Threads here. Because having 2 free actions just to thread things is kind of nice. We just got to do better about our ordering. That is a purple for 10 spike damage. What? I'm going to put a read on the fact that I think Needles is going to be the legendary. I really don't like this fight. Might as well hit here, I guess. This will take care of you. And then this doesn't really do anything. Might as well just hit it. We're going to get crits next turn. Okay, I like that we will be able to get controlled weaving. That's a good roundup. Should probably weave you now. Unless we just want to do a heck a ton of damage. Nah, we should probably take care of you. There we go. Dice of Fates, it's too late. Roots of Reprieve means that anytime that we kill something, our skills basically become free. Free Palisade? Like, that's not bad. Otherwise, we're not going to be here long enough for Dice of Fates to honestly do anything. We're not going to be here long enough for Crafted Siphons to do anything. Roots of Reprieve, I guess. Let's leave this until we visit the Carver and see what we're going up against. I like the fact that Sturdy Restoration can now give us shielding. Needles? It was not needles. Tetra Twin is decent single target. That could be our answer here. Because otherwise we got to figure out how to kill a chicken and a tree. Primacentium, we do have a lot of shields, but we didn't go into the whole actual spike damage shenanigans. Conduit of Hybridized is a great way to spike some damage. I kind of believe in Tetra Twin. We're going to go ahead, we're going to take that. And if that's the case, we really don't have to care one way or another what we're doing here. I believe, yeah, Tangle is still like our primary damage, so let's just make Tangle deal more damage. Looking at the shop for you guys, there is a Miser's Purse. That's pretty notable. 10 ability power. Otherwise, Moby is fine. I don't recall seeing like us able to actually do anything with this. Nim's Oath is just more HP. I don't know, maybe another path would have given you something that scales off HP. I honestly don't know how this chicken's gonna go. Guess that's how that works. Okay, can we get both of you guys? There's got to be a magic pixel here somewhere. There it is. I want to believe. You have this, but you don't? Come on, man. Let's go ahead. Might as well play that. There we go. That's something. I kind of like that more. I'm not going to lie. That was odd. That preview up there showed him almost dying. It's almost like it assumed that we were going to do Tetra Twin, and then it just didn't. Let's, come on, man. We were here before. There it is. Believe in Tetra Twin? Not so much. Alright. We don't really got much else to do. We might as well cleanse ourselves. Use some skills to get Twin Fangs up. Leave this for next turn, and use this so that it can reroll. Get that Twin Fang up. We are going to take damage. Okay. Can we get you to be marked? There's the mark. Is that better? It is not. So we will use that. Try and mark you again. No mark. Okay. There we go. That's pretty decent. And you're marked. Good stuff. Okay. We are cleansed. Just build up some. Oh, you crit. Okay. Mark? No mark. Okay. Hit you with that. Hit you with this. Power orb. We're going to take 1 damage here. Should be fine. I'm trying to think about how many turns we've used. If you go up in the air, we're screwed. Thank you. That was an extra turn. God damn it. All because we didn't mark it. Well, not much you can do about that. We probably did play it a little badly. Like, if we would have used that orb correctly, maybe. But basically relying on RNG with Tetra Twin, the crit charges. Yeah, I suppose actually we were trying to farm a crit charge, and then we used all of our Twin Fang on our auto, which we don't care if it crits. Yeah. So I think that we definitely bumbled that that Cinder fight. I think that that's possible that we could have done that with what we had. Otherwise, trying to think about what else we could have possibly... What was the one fight that we missed one? I don't even remember. It was still probably solvable, but other than that, we got max on everything else. If you can just solve those 2 fights, then you got yourself a maximum score. Hopefully the run was entertaining, or at least enjoyable. Or, sorry, or at least educational. If, oh, dear Lord, up at the top there. Anyways, if you have any feedback whatsoever, be it questions, comments, concerns, misplay alerts, be sure to put those down in the comments below. And until next time, we will catch you guys around.